Hello everybody, welcome to Dakman Productions and welcome to Conrail. We have another unboxing today. For those who don't know, I just don't sit here and unbox. I take these unboxing videos as a chance to talk about things that are happening in our hobby or in general. So I'm going to do that again today. I'm going to unbox this and we're going to talk about a subject here. So, there's a lot of my viewers and fans who consider or look at me as an ambassador of the hobby. And I appreciate that very much. Today, I'm going to go ahead and talk about, I'm going to put my, you guys consider me an ambassador, so I'm going to put that badge on today. And we're going to talk about things that I'm seeing about Lionel, people are posting. And then talk about it. So the biggest thing that I'm seeing people post about or complain about with Lionel is the boards for the locomotives. Lack of parts or lack of boards, board failures, parts availability, install, so on and so forth. Well, let's talk about that. I work in a world of trucking. And you're going to see where this is going. And by the way, disclaimer before I go any further, I don't work for Lionel. Lionel's not paying me to say this. I don't even know if Lionel knows my channel exists, which doesn't matter. That's fine. I still like a lot of their products. And so, I just want to put that disclaimer out that Lionel did not ask me to do this. But at any rate, moving forward, the world of trucking, I can relate to what's happening with Lionel. And here's how this is going to go, and you'll see where this is heading. So for those who are saying, oh, Lionel's not making enough parts, the boards are failing, and it's taking a long time to even get parts. So, now let's change it to my world and you're going to see where it's going. In the world of trucking, there's millions of trucks on the road. Millions of trucks on the road. So, we have bought brand new Kenworth trucks back in 2022. They are now only a year old. And what's happening is they're having electronic failures. And so, one component for the automated transmissions, you guys probably say automatic, but we say automated, to go from forward to reverse. So there's no more manual, they're all automated now. The shifters are failing. Brand new, not even a year old. And you're like, okay, no big deal. Well, it is, because guess what? Those parts are not available. And you're like, what? A 2022 and no parts are available for a 2022 Kenworth? Nope. Matter of fact, Kenworth and Peterbilt, by the way, because it's a pack car product, have been hammered by customers because we're talking about now a $180,000 truck. Yep, that's how much they cost. $180,000 that they can't use to make money. So now you got a $180,000 truck you're making payments on, and you're going out getting a rental. So, Kenworth and Peterbilt, in their desperation to help the customer, since they couldn't get the parts, they had to find a vendor who would rebuild them. Now we're talking about rebuilding an electronic component that's only a year old because you can't get the part. And it just blows me away. So you're going to see some similarities here. So you're saying, okay, well that's just one part. Nope. Sorry. We have older Kenworths, when I say older, 2021 and 2018 to 2021. Can't get door switches for them. 6-month back order to put the window up and down. So you can't get the switches to put the window up and down. 6-month back order. Then there's another part, okay, and I can get into this all day long. So that control that actually reads the trucks use what they call depth load now. And there's a smart chip. You're going to see why I'm saying smart chip and chips. There's a smart chip module that reads the depth level. Those particular sensors were on such a back order that the dealers were only allowed a certain allotment. That's right. They were only allowed to buy one sensor per week. And you just had to put yourself in line. You could be number 30 in line. And so if they're working on number 10, they're going to wait, 4 or 5 weeks before your turn comes around that you can buy one. This is reality. So what's going on? And this is not just in trucking either. There is a chip shortage still today. That's what's happening. There's a chip shortage. And it's affecting everything. Matter of fact, in the past, if I said I wanted to buy 100 trucks, Peterbilt would say, yep, we're going to sign you up for 100 trucks. Here you go. 500 trucks. 800 trucks. If I had the money, Peterbilt Kenworth would say, yep, we're going to build these many trucks for you. You're good to go. Now, guess what? They're built to order. Just like Lionel's locomotives. They're built to order because there's such a big chip shortage out there that now there's only a certain, the manufacturer, Kenworth, Peterbilt, whoever it is, Freightliner, they're all in the same boat, are going over their dealers and are looking at their best dealers. Okay, this dealer can have 50 trucks to sell. This one can have 100 trucks to sell. And that's it. That's all they're getting to sell. The problem is these trucks are already sold before they're hitting the lots. So technically, the only trucks the dealers are selling that are for sale are ones that are being traded in, because the ones that are being made are built to order and they're already spoken for. So you, as a person, say, okay, I want to buy an international Peterbilt Kenworth. All right, you got to get in line. We don't have no more lot splits until next year now. Too late. And if you don't get in line now, you may not be able to get a truck. So those companies that bought 200 trucks at a time and they were a Peterbilt fan, now they can't buy their 200 Peterbilts. They got to buy 50 Peterbilts, 50 Kenworths, 50 Max, 50 Freightliners to make up the 200 that they actually need to replenish the trucks that they wore out. This is a real problem. Chip shortages are a real problem. Chip and computer failures are a real problem. Trucks and cars use what they call smart modules now. So whether it's an O2 sensor, a SILT sensor, a depth level sensor, the turbochargers even have a smart chip in them now. A lot of these sensors have smart chips in them. And they're not available. Well, they are. I mean, they are building them, but in limited quantities. And it's all stemming from shutting the world down from you-know-what happened. Because I can't say it on YouTube. They'll demonetize me for saying it. But we decided to shut the whole world down in 2019. And you just can't turn it on and say, okay, we're good to go. We're starting to produce again. It doesn't work that way. And we're in such a dire need, especially in the parts, in the world of parts for trucks and cars. Talk to your auto mechanic about this, dealership or whoever, and behind the scenes they'll tell you, yeah, there's a real problem. So that's where we're at. And it's not just trucks. Go on YouTube. Do yourself a favor. Go on YouTube and check out repairman videos or repair person videos, whatever. People who repair refrigerators. They got one common complaint. Chips and boards. Matter of fact, they're telling you when you go to buy a refrigerator, make sure you buy it without the ice maker. Because the chip and the ice makers are so crappy, that's the first thing that burns out on the refrigerator. And the problem with that is once that chip goes, it shuts the whole refrigerator down. Woohoo! What a design! Whoever thought of making a design like that? I don't know, but that's for another channel. HVAC guys who install heaters and AC in your house. Check those channels out. They all got the same complaints. They install a brand new, heater, board failure within 2 or 3 months, and you can't get the parts. So when you have a BTO and a world of trucks where there's millions of trucks, the problem is there's no spare parts to be had. There's only enough parts to make that many trucks. So let's say Peterbilt has enough parts to make 500,000 trucks. So that's what they do. They make 500,000 trucks. The problem is there's no spare parts to fix them because they built 500,000 trucks. I don't know what you're saying. Well, why doesn't Peterbilt just build 450,000 and then save the other 50,000 in parts? Okay, that's 50,000 trucks they're not going to build, and they're going to have a stockpile of parts that they may or may not need. And in the world of taxes and warehousing and the cost of warehousing and all that stuff, it's too costly to stock that many parts. But anyway, that's my rant for today. Is all I'm saying is chips and boards and shortages, and the quality of boards isn't a Lionel problem. Everybody goes out and subcontracts with different companies to make boards and chips. Now, it may be different in the world of laptops and phones. I don't know. But I can tell you it is a real problem in vehicles. It's a real problem in trucks. Everybody's got the same complaint with boards and so forth and so on and chips. The failure rate is really high. It's bad out there. And I don't think it's going to get any better as far as the chip shortage until, my opinion, about 2025. But I know some of you ain't going to agree with me on my opinions, but I'm just telling you my real world experience with what I'm seeing in my industry. Anyway, so what do we have today? Now that I've ranted all that. So, we have brand new Lionel MOW Conrail Gondola cars. Man, and I am loving these things. From what I'm seeing, Lionel really did a nice job. I can't wait to get these out. So, these are Conrail PS5 gondolas. These are not the 66-foot mill gondolas. And you'll see why here in a minute. I'll explain all that. So, as usual, I'm going to get these out. I like to talk about, for those who are new to my channel, I like to talk about if they're prototypical, if they are, the history behind them, what they were used for, and how they came to be. And I like to give FRA regulations as well when I'm doing a review to hopefully help you understand more about the car itself. Now, if you're the type of person who's like, oh, this is cool, it's got a yellow window, and I just want to run it in a train, I don't care if it's real or not, that's fine. But I do these reviews for those who are like, huh, that's interesting, I wonder why they did this. And that's what I do the videos for people like that. Anyway, let's get these out of the box, and we're going to talk about these. Wow, I can't wait. Okay, so we have the Lionel Conrail MOW Gondola out of the box and onto the track. Like I said, this is a PS5 gondola. So what is a PS5? Well, it has nothing to do with PlayStation, in case you were wondering. And it definitely has nothing to do with the MTH system. But PS5 is a model name from the Pullman Standard Company. So, you had the PS1, which were box cars, and each name stands for something. So you have PS1, Pullman Standard PS1, Pullman Standard PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5 were the Pullman Standard early gondolas. So I'll talk to you about what I like about this and what I don't. Lionel did an excellent job of copying and bringing the Conrail MOW train to life, or gondola. This thing looks really good. I love the details. It's really well detailed. It has the grab hands and the grab irons, which you're going to see right there. Individual ones. It's really the decals, the information. And the other thing about this, people may not know, is the Lionel PS5 gondolas are actually, let me get this out in light, actually drop-in gondolas. So there you can see the actual ends drop down. So why would you need the ends to drop down? And this is real life, by the way. They actually had drop-in gondolas. So you could put an over-length load in here, such as pipes, and you would use an idler car, such as a flat car, for the load. Matter of fact, Lionel actually did make a 2-car set of the gondola with the drop-in and a flat car as an idler car. And so the pipes would lay over top of the drop-in, and the flat car would be used as an idler car so the pipes could swing over. So it was a cool 2-car set, and Lionel actually did that in the Conrail Roading, which I do own that set. But both ends actually drop down. And then they simply snap back into place. If you want to put them back up again, there you go. Just as simple as that. So it's a very versatile car for modeling. So what don't I like about this car? Well, unfortunately, I'm not a fan of the trucks. I guess I'm used to Lionel making the trucks out of all metal. And unfortunately, these are not all metal. You got die-cast side frames, however, the middle section right here, where my thumb is at, is plastic that ties the two side frames together. So that's the only thing I don't like about it. Maybe it's a cost thing, I'm not sure. Other than that, it's a great car. It's a wonderful piece. I'm glad to have it in my collection. Like I said, I do point out things that I like, and I do point out things I don't like. But yeah, this is a great piece. I'm so glad to have this. Okay, so people like to hear a price point. So from Mr. Muffins, because I pre-ordered this from him, these were $103 a piece. And I know you're like, wow, that's a lot of money for a O-gauge car, especially a gondola. And unfortunately, you know, materials have gone up in price and so forth and so on. And you also have to remember, this is a scale size gondola. This is not semi-scale. This is a full-scale piece with separately applied details. And so, yeah, it's a little on the expensive side compared to an Atlas O gondola, which would be $80. So there's about a $20 difference between Lionel and Atlas O. So let's talk about the car itself. Is this prototypical? Is it real? Did Conrail really do this? And the answer to that is absolutely. This is 100% accurate. Lionel did a great job in the accuracy of this. It just blows me away with the paint scheme. So what we're looking at here is a very, very interesting piece that Lionel had picked out to offer as a model. What we're looking at is a patched Conrail MOW car. And I know what you're going to think. You're thinking that, Dakman, how is that possible when it's already Conrail? How do you patch a Conrail onto a Conrail? That doesn't make sense. So let's talk about that. So these cars that Conrail were using were former Pennsylvania Railroad and Reading Railroad gondolas. They were built in the 50s, early 50s, like we're talking about 51, 52, 1953, in that era time period. Now, according to FRA regulations, you can only run a rail car for 50 years after its original build date. No matter how many times you rebuilt that car, at the end of 50 years, its 50th year, you cannot run it on a Class 1 railroad. You have to take it and put it for scrap, or you can put it in a museum or a private railroad, whatever have you, but it can't be on a Class 1 railroad. However, there's an exception to that. You can, at the end of 50 years, put it into an MOW service. However, you are restricted to a speed of only 15 miles an hour after you do that. So what happened to some of these cars, not all of them, some of them were repainted from Pennsylvania Railroad or repainted from Reading Railroad to Conrail. And then for years, they ran under the Conrail paint scheme. Well, Conrail MOW cars were repainted to gray. However, they didn't always have time to repaint the entire car to gray to designate it as an MOW service piece. So people would know, hey, you can't put this in a regular train because it's an MOW car. So what they did is they came up with the idea of a patched MOW paint scheme, which is what you're seeing here. So instead of painting the car gray, they rushed it into MOW service by painting one end of the car in yellow with the reporting marks of MWM. Some of these cars received the MWM reporting mark. Let me bring this here so you can see what I'm talking about. Some of them received the MWM reporting mark, and some received just the MW reporting mark. But this is how Conrail patched MOW service to quickly identify it as an MOW car. Because if they didn't do this, the yard master would probably throw it into a regular train when he shouldn't be. I found pictures of the real thing online. Here is one of my favorite photos. This is for Walt out there, Walter Herbine of the Train Shop Weekly. So this is a former Reading gondola that was made in 1951. Now a Conrail MOW piece. And there's other Conrail MOW cars photos that I found online as well, and it shows how Lionel actually was pretty accurate with the paint scheme. Now, they weren't all painted similar, but not exact. I guess it depends on what shop they were done at. So this is a great, cool piece to own if you're a Conrail person. So as usual, I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the video. I like to talk about historical things. I like to get into FR regulations on and explains on why and how this car came to be and why it's painted the way it is. And I just hope people enjoy, just learning about real railroading in relation to model trains. And but at any rate, we'll catch you guys trackside. Goodbye.